Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Rob.
And welcome to Screened Bucket.
Yeah, another one.
This might be the last one.
The summer holidays, our summer holidays are coming to an end.
Absolutely. We're coming now into the October months. It already feels really autumnal out there.
It does. Very cold in the mornings.
There's leaves on the floor.
I haven't noticed any leaves.
Yeah, there's leaves. There's a cold chill.
It's that stage where you can start wearing your jackets and you appreciate your jackets. As opposed to March when you're sick of them.
And I can even smell Halloween coming.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
I definitely can smell Halloween coming.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back for October, where we'll be bringing Scream Bucket back from the grave.
Yes.
But for now, we've got one more compilation episode of some of our favourite bits from the previous year of Scream Bucket.
Yeah.
And now this episode is going to be a little bit different.
In what way, Adam?
Well, listeners should savour Rob's voice, because this might be the last time you're going to hear him for a while.
Oh my god, why?
This is the guest episode compilation.
Okay, so whenever I was swanning off to other countries,
Yep.
you had to replace me with some absolute nobody.
Absolutely. So Nick was the first of our guest coast presenters.
Not
sure that works.
West Coast presenters.
West Coast. Our guest host presenters.
Nice.
You may know Nick. He does the video game reviews in the later shows. More recently, we had Matt Butler.
Oh, of Electric Black fame.
The drummer from Electric Black, yes.
Yeah. No, they've been doing very well, haven't they? They just played Bullstock.
Doing lots of gigs lately. They've got their album launch in beginning of November. If you want to get your tickets for Club 85, they're on sale now.
We need to nab some. We need to go.
We need press passes. What's going on?
Yeah. Because, come on, the amount of promotion we've given him and his band.
Yeah.
Give us the tickets, give us the press passes, have us backstage with the groupies.
Unbelievable. Wow. They call Matt in.
Yeah, we'll get him in. We'll get him in for another one. He's a spooky-looking guy. He can talk about a horror movie thing.
That's true, he does. I have compared him to a goth scarecrow in the past.
That's very Noel Fielding.
Well, people have compared him to Noel Fielding as well. Sorry, Matt, if you're listening. But you do look like Noel Fielding.
You do. Not an insult.
No. Or Vince Noir.
Vince
Noir, rock and roll star. Yeah. So in this week's episode, we'll have me and Nick talking about Weird Science.
Cool.
You seen that?
Yes, I have.
Classic film. We were a bit confused by it.
Right.
It hasn't aged too well. And Falling Down.
I love Falling Down. You don't.
I don't like it.
Didn't you get a release of when he finally cracked and went on a mad one?
In the same way... Here's an interesting blip. Patreon supporters will have heard our exclusive Screen Bucket Night Shift episode, where we talked at length about Joker and how it's inspiring the bad people.
Oh, you got point. I see where you're going. Go on.
And Falling Down is exactly the same. It's about a man going mental, potentially picking up an assault rifle and going around town. Do you know what I mean?
You're 100% right. I hate that. Yeah, you're 100% right.
And I watched it with my heart in my mouth, just like, oh no.
That's so true, because from one angle you're like, good, this guy's been downtrodden his whole life. It's good that he's finally, taking his revenge and not taking any bull crap anymore.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, people do that and then innocent people die. So yeah, good point. Falling Down bad.
And I think I made that point at length. And there's also weird comedy moments as well. Anyway, they'll feature later on in the show. And then, me and Matt, Matt joined us for my birthday special episode.
Ooh.
Where I chose my favourite film of my childhood, Transformers the movie, 1986.
Of course. Glad I missed that one.
How dare you?
It's not Beast Wars, so it sucks. That's the rule.
Unbelievable. Transformers is the best film. As I explain at Matt.
At Matt, yeah.
Towards the end.
Sounds about right.
Also got some of improv from me and Nick as well at the end. So yeah, a full show.
Yes.
But in the meantime, just a quick update on what we're up to. What have you been doing, Rob?
I've been doing nothing of note. What have I been doing? I did something. I turned 30. I've joined the 30 club.
Not since last episode.
No, that's already happened. Oh my god! There's a film on Netflix, which I think there was a bit of a buzz about it a couple of years ago.
Right.
It's called Guess Who's Back?
Back again.
Yeah, Hitler's back.
Hitler's back.
So it doesn't really...
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. Tell the Germans. Yeah, so Hitler, through some weird... It's kind of lightly hinted that when he shot himself in the head, he went into a portal. Because he says in German, "My head was really hurting when I woke up."
Okay.
But, so he went into a time portal and woke up in 2014 Berlin.
Okay.
And he's looking around and he's like, "What's going on? The rubble is all gone, but the people are insane." So he's walking around in a place where there's like street performers and clowns and stuff, and people are going to get their picture taken with him. He's very confused.
Okay, yeah.
A journalist come filmmaker sees him in one of his shots and thinks, "Oh my god, this is a story. This could save my career," because he's about to get fired. So him and Hitler, the real Hitler, go on this sort of road trip of Europe trying to like recruit people. Hitler's still Hitler, and he's still, he analyses everything that's wrong with the current German parliament politics.
We should point out this is a comedy.
This is a comedy.
It's not a serious
but it's this whole
takeover
thing.
film.
People are fed up because of, I don't know, immigration in Germany and other stuff. Like, they start listening to Hitler. Despite thinking he's an impressionist, they're listening to his messages again. And everyone's kind of getting riled up. And then it's kind of... I think the point of it is to think... You listen to a powerful man because he's influential and arguably... not arguably, great in a sense of what he's able to achieve and how he's able to lead people and inspire people. And it's so easy to forget that someone like that is a monster. That's the kind of message in the film.
This is an interesting message to tell at 8 o'clock in the evening.
No, it's hilarious.
Okay, all right.
There's bits in the film where he's going mental in a taxi, and he's and because it's Hitler going mad, it's funny. But the overriding message is you kind of analyse humanity and think, hang on a minute, any person can have a really bad idea of what to do, but if they're inspiring enough and people as a group are stupid enough, you will follow these evil people. And that's kind of the message, and it's very good. So it's a very funny comedy, but it's got this whole thing which makes you realise, especially at the end, be careful with these people, because they've got something horrible in mind, and they will turn you into a monster as well.
Okay, that's cool. I like it a lot. I saw a film called Wolf.
Oh, how good was Wolf?
Oh, God. Wolf, I saw on the... available on the Cineworld app. I thought, no idea what that is. I'm just going to go see it. Oh boy. Wolf is a film of Roman soldiers on Hadrian's Wall who go to Scotland to track down some missing Romans.
Right.
And then get attacked by wolves. Werewolves.
So, it sounds awesome.
It sounds awesome. It really does sound awesome. And the poster looks awesome. And it was the worst film I've ever seen in the cinema. Well, that might not be fair. Epic movie is worse. But this was terrible. Technically awful. So the actors are terrible. They're really bad. Some worse than others, but oh boy. They cut between people talking and there's different background sounds.
Oh my god.
It clips between the... As someone who edits, this hurt me. It was even annoying the person I was with, and they didn't even know about that sort of technical stuff.
But the thing is, so they spent thousands on this film in terms of costumes and blah. And
well, yeah, the costumes look amazing.
Yeah, effects. And that sort of sound issue is something you would pick up, something we would probably pick up in college.
Yeah.
In college.
It felt like a best of the worst film. Everything was terrible. And you know what really, really bugged me? I don't know if you ever play like Dragon Age or something, but video games where you have lots of action scenes, it's all cool and exciting, and then you spend like an hour just talking.
Right.
And the conversations felt like that, and the whole setup felt like that. So there was lots of action and drama and stuff, and then just talking. Exposition all over the place. It'd be stuff like this as well. There'd be two people who would walk up to each other. Hello. Hello. This reminds me of when we were in Rome. Oh, yes. Let me tell you this story of when we met in Rome. That sounds interesting. For an hour, almost, it felt like. It was unbelievably painful. And I just felt myself like sinking into the seat going, oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like, painful. And the fact it was in the Cineworld makes me think it won a competition.
Really?
Because there's no way that got picked up.
Would it be a good film if you took all the people out of it and replaced it with all of the cast and crew from Dog Soldiers?
Yes. Funny you should say that. I haven't mentioned that before. It did feel like what Dog Soldiers... It felt like it was pitched as Dog Soldiers, but Roman.
Right.
It had that vibe. They were sort of just a group of ragtag soldiers, obviously just picked randomly to come along on this search mission. So it did have a Dog Soldiers kind of vibe, but with none of the charm, none of the wit.
And none of the Pertwee.
None of the Pertwee. He would have been great in that film.
Oh, where's Brutus? Brutus, he's on a bloody Kazi again. Get him off.
By Jupiter. Can't believe this is happening again. This reminds me when I was in Rome.
Those bloody Persians.
No, yeah, really. If it's still in the cinema by the time this show comes out, I hope it's not, don't watch it.
No.
Skip it. Unless you want to see how a film definitely shouldn't be made and definitely shouldn't end. Right. The ending is atrocious. It just ends.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
But also the camera work was so rough and ready. Towards the end, it's like the cameraman just gave up. It'd be filming some woman who just turned up. No idea who she was. The camera's looking at her and just goes, whoop! Just pans left suddenly and then goes back to her. Like the cameraman tripped over or something. The only person who should walk away with any credit on that film is the location scout,
right,
the drone operator, and the costume designer. Because those three things were great. But oh boy.
I'm so glad I didn't go.
The woman with the mascara under her eyes. Bad. It's like someone's mum got cast in a film. Anyway.
Do you know what that means as well? There will never be another Werewolf Roman film. And they had that chance, and it's gone.
Also, why is it called Wolf?
Well, I think it's about wolves, isn't it?
Werewolves.
Oh. Is it like a double thing like Wolf, the warrior wolf, but also werewolf?
The Romans had like wolf legions and stuff. Why not name it after one of them? Like they're the Wolfus regiment or something.
Wolfus. But if it was called Wolfus, it'd be very silly, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
Wolfus. Oh, Wolfus. Woofy. Yeah.
Well, there's some Latin word for wolf, surely.
Wolfus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ruffruffs.
Ruff, Wolfus.
Ruffruff Rex.
Wolfus Fluffius. Fluffy tail, woof.
Alright, we need to get out of here.
Yeah,
okay. Let's start.
Let's go.
Let's kick off the show. Alright, see you at the end.
You have one message. Message 1.
Hi, Screen Bucket, it's Christopher Walken. I've got this idea for a new film. It's about this spy who he can't stop dancing. It's his weapon of choice, but the thing is, every time he dances, there's this worm. Now, don't be shocked by the tone of my voice, because I'm just trying to help and come up with this idea for you. And if you are interested, why don't you hit me up and call me, Christopher Walken, and bye.
You happy with that?
Let me listen to it again.
Jeez. Oh, mademoiselle, would you like to have a film discussion? Oh, yes, monsieur. I'd love to have an in-depth film discussion with you, like I do on Screen Bucket.
Written and directed by John Hughes, Weird Science was released in 1985. It's a American teen comic science fiction film. that stars Elan Mitchell-Smith and Anthony Michael Hall, along with Kelly LeBrock. Kelly LeBrock.
Yes. So what happens?
Where do we begin? I mean, it's two kids, about 14?
Let's just start by saying that Nick hasn't watched Weird Science before.
Oh yeah,
last night.
This is my first ever time watching it. Yeah.
So I decided to put something on that was a bit culty, was a bit fun, and Nick hadn't seen it, so we chose this film.
Yes, and I am a bit of a John Hughes fan.
Yes.
I do love, like, Ferris Bueller's one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah,
so
me
I
too.
figured, let's go for that.
So tell me what happens.
So we start with the characters of, I don't know, Wyatt and Gary. Is it Gary?
Yep.
Yeah, Wyatt and Gary, who are two 14-year-old boys at school.
I think they're 15.
15? I thought they were
I
14.
think Wyatt's 16.
Okay, so they're teenagers anyway.
Yeah.
They're in high school, and they're your stereotypical geeks who are obsessed with the other girls in the class.
The other girls in the class.
Well, sorry, the girls. They're not girls, as far as I know.
Come on. People listen to this show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is completely unprofessional. So they are obsessed with women, and they decide, in their efforts to get a girlfriend, to create a girlfriend.
Yes. Do you remember how they came to the idea to make a woman?
So Gary and Wyatt are in Wyatt's bedroom.
Yep.
And Wyatt's a bit of a computer geek, but you don't know this at this stage. It's just kind of dropped in straight after.
Well, he has a computer.
He does, in the same vein as War Games, that kind of
Yeah.
classic 80s computer with the telephone. And they're talking, and Gary comes up with the idea of creating a girlfriend.
Yeah, why don't you simulate a girl? Is that what he says?
Something like that.
He said I could simulate a girl.
Just throw off. I suppose I can. It's just
The 80s was a magical time. Need to lay this out, when you could do anything you wanted if you had a computer.
yes. You could hack the national security grid, as is in War Games, and you can create an AI that represents your perfect woman.
Yeah, and you can hack into the most elite computer system by going through levels from Star Fox.
Yes, or the old TIE Fighter, X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Yeah.
Navigating a polygon labyrinth gets you access to the...
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so they create a woman played by Kelly LeBrock called Lisa.
Who they name Lisa,
Yes, and they name it Lisa because it's a girl that Gary had a crush on.
Yeah, she kicked him in the nuts.
Yes. This film. And then Lisa... Yeah, well, actually, before Lisa appears, what ensues is the maddest possession-style...
Oh, the montage is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is the thing, I haven't seen this in years. Nick's never seen it. We laughed almost from beginning to end of this montage.
The sky turns red.
Yep.
Um,
Well, it's all computer technical magic and typing and computer hacking, and then it cuts to them doing like a seance over a Barbie doll.
Oh yes,
with
yeah.
bras on their heads.
Yes,
What-
yeah.
Where's that come from?
And
bras
on their head.
And it cuts back to them after they're hacking, and they're just covered in sweat.
Yes.
That made
well,
us
no,
laugh.
but only Wyatt was covered in sweat.
No, they both were.
Were they?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
only noticed it with Wyatt. But yeah, and then the door starts to... Everything goes quiet, it's all calm. You think, oh, thank God, the storm's passed.
Yeah.
They're hiding underneath their computer table because they notice the door starts to bulge.
Yep.
Which I'm pretty sure wood can't bulge. I think I said that at the time.
Yeah, don't question. That's, of all the things...
And yeah, the door bursts open, a bit of smoke, red smoke, and out comes Lisa.
Yes. In her underwear.
In her underwear, and basically she's the perfect woman as far as a 15, 16-year-old kid is concerned.
They basically programmed the perfect woman. They fed in...
Into the computer, they fed bits of paper.
It was images from Cosmo. And
A picture of Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted Albert Einstein's brain, but they had pictures from Cosmo and Playboy to make the perfect woman.
Yes.
And they ended up with Kelly LeBrock.
Yes.
Who the first thing they do is have a shower with.
Yes. Yeah. Well, Kelly LeBrock invites them to have a shower, and she's naked, So she's like, what, 25 years old, do you reckon, in this?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
She's definitely older.
She's definitely older.
It's a bit creepy.
And she's an older woman having a shower with 2 teenage boys. But it's okay, because they still got their clothes on.
Yeah, still wearing their jeans.
Because they're too nervous. What's the line she has? You guys are just, looks at their trousers, too frigid.
If you want to do this again, you need to...
Loosen up?
Something like that.
Yeah.
If we're going to have any kind of fun together, you guys had better loosen up.
And then camera pans down, they're wearing all their clothes. It's amazing. And then Lisa, so it starts, initially she's a sex object.
Yes.
They create her for this reason. But she very quickly becomes like...
Well, there's actually a great summing up from someone, who I'm just going to find out who it is, who basically says that she's sexy Mary Poppins.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, she essentially becomes a guide to break out of their shell, because they're nerds. She's encouraging them to break out of their shell,
yes,
and become active members of society,
and become more confident. Yeah, confident.
So she takes them to a bar, and there's a very dodgy scene.
Yeah.
I mean, we were like, this is funny, but is this wrong?
Well, you wouldn't get away with it nowadays. It's basically, it's like a New Orleans jazz bar, it turns into.
Yes.
But it starts off as an American trucker.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But Gary gets drunk and starts talking like them. And it's funny at first, but it just goes on a little bit too long.
Yeah, and you think, okay, they could get away with it in 1985, but
I mean, it's kind of okay because it's not at the expense of the African Americans in the bar.
Yeah.
They are part of the joke, and they almost win at the end anyway.
Yes,
They start laughing at them, but yeah, and there's a few moments like that where you're like, this feels dirty.
Well, there's all through the film, there's bits like that. So you've got the bit in the bar. You've then got the next morning. So Wyatt and Gary. I mean, Gary's very drunk, and proceeds to vomit into Wyatt's sink. And that night, Gary goes to bed, and Wyatt stays up with Lisa. And there's kind of a question of whether they actually.
Yeah.
I mean, he wakes up the next morning in her underwear.
Yes. I forgot.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing to bear in mind. Wyatt's got an older brother.
Played by the legendary Bill Paxton.
Yes, Chet, his name is. Best way to describe him is like a slightly psychopathic shut-in who loves guns.
I compared him at the time to, I know it's a bit of a stereotype, but in Wet Hot American Summer, Paul Rudd's character.
He's less affable than that.
Yeah.
He's more of a psychopath.
Yeah. You can see... But when did Aliens come out?
80...
That was before Weird Science, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it's as if John Hughes saw the character that Bill Paxton played in Aliens and said, I want you to do that, but be a complete... No?
86 was Aliens.
Because it's a very... Maybe he's just became a little bit typecast.
It's possible they did it at the same time.
Yeah, possibly. Probably sets next door to each other and he just, stayed in character.
Well, Aliens was filmed round the corner. It was in Hertfordshire, wasn't it?
But anyway, so, Bill Paxton, he is an absolute psychopath.
He finds them, doesn't he? No, the next morning... That's right. The next morning, he comes downstairs and Lisa's prepared a wonderful breakfast.
Yes.
For Wyatt. Who
eggs.
He immediately claims it and finds his brother.
But he does offer to fry an egg for him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I guess.
He throws the egg into the ceiling, it cracks and lands in the frying pan with shell and all, and he goes, there you are, breakfast.
Yeah, he's an older brother bully, and
yes.
he steals money from him and stuff. But he sees his younger brother in the woman's underwear.
He doesn't mention it first. He doesn't mention it at first. It's sort of he walks back in.
Yeah.
And then he notices him.
He freaks out.
Yeah.
It's very, very funny.
Yeah.
And the best bit is when he pulls the towel off.
Cover yourself up.
Cover yourself up. And he's now just naked. And please God. Oh, it's fantastic. Really funny joke.
And Lisa does hide from him at first.
Yeah, they're never in the same room, and there's always a question of how they're gonna introduce Lisa.
What will happen when Chet, I'm the best thing in the world, when he meets Lisa, who's very challenging, how they will actually clash.
Well, yeah, and it's beyond that as well, because there's the high school bully template, high school bully characters.
Oh, yes, played by Robert Downey. Because he's not Junior at this point.
No, he's not.
No, he's Robert Downey.
Maybe he got downgraded.
Maybe. Downey graded. And this is what you're in for.
So sorry.
And I don't know who the other chap is. I don't know if he's done
I don't know if
else,
he's anyone
really.
else either, no.
Robert Rustler.
No idea.
Nope.
But yeah, and she sort of seduces them.
Well, there's a great...
teases them.
Yeah, the first time they see her, so they're the ones that bully Gary and Wyatt right from the start.
So Lisa teases the high school bully jock characters.
Yes.
And who aren't treating their girlfriends right.
No, exactly.
And this becomes the main point of the story, is to get Wyatt and
Gary
to break out their shells and go out with these girls.
Yes.
So it becomes a love square?
Yes.
No. Love octagon?
A love
There's loads of
a love
characters.
parallelogram.
Yeah. And it whole becomes the classic John Hughes
Boy must get girl. And
the growing up and facing your challenges. And there's some great cameos. Wes from Mad Max 2.
Yes, who is the same character.
Just amazing.
Yeah.
I strongly enjoy it, although perhaps each year it might get a bit more difficult to watch.
Well, that's the trouble as we, as a society, get a lot more
woke.
Yes, woke is the perfect word, isn't it? So, but then John Hughes, there's always been the question of things like that, and
16 Candles is a dodgy.
Yeah. Well, actually, in this perfect, so there is a moment between Lisa and Wyatt where they actually do kiss. Like full on snog, and I was reading a bit of trivia where Wyatt actually, or the Elan who played Wyatt, actually did stick his tongue down Kelly LeBrock's throat, and she turned around to him and said, "If you do that again, I'll kick your ass."
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh dear.
So yeah, but then that's a 25-year-old woman-ish kissing a 14-year-old boy. So
yes.
Anyway, I thoroughly enjoyed Weird Science, despite all its cultural problems. Yeah, it was actually a very enjoyable John Hughes film.
And I love it. And it's inspired many music videos and many, many references to many, many things. And
yes.
It's good, fun, if a little bit hard to watch. It'd almost be better as a modern film taken sort of a parody approach.
That's an interesting, yeah.
Because you got like the F word, 6-letter F word that was only ever heard in 80s films. But yes, I think it's solid watching.
Yes, and if
take it with a pinch of salt, maybe.
Yeah, if you enjoy those kinds of 80s coming of age films, then go watch Weird Science.
Yeah, but watch Ferris Bueller more.
Yes, definitely Ferris Bueller anytime.
Yes. Anyway, let's put a song on.
You have one message. Message 1.
Oh, hi, Screen Bucket. It's James Cameron here. And I just wanted to give you a call because I've got this new idea for a new film series. It's basically about these orange squirrels, and they're on a distant planet blowing things up. If you're interested, give me a call. I know that I've got a reputation, but I promise not to go over budget this time. I'm going to keep it together.
James, do you have a spare £5?
Oh, yeah, of course. Just, I'll tell you what, take the 50. Take the 50. Anyway, see you later, Screen Bucket. Bye.
Falling Down is a 1993 thriller film by Joel Schumacher. The film stars Michael Douglas as D. Fens, as he's referred to, a 9-to-5 office schlub who goes a bit mad and decides to journey across LA in time for his daughter's birthday party.
Aww.
Isn't that nice?
He just loves his daughter.
Yes. He's also a complete psychopath and unleashes hell along his journey through LA until he's eventually tracked down by almost retiree Martin Prendergast, played by Robert Duvall. Why did you make me watch this film, Nick?
Because someone had described it to me in the past, and neither of us have seen this before.
No, we haven't, no.
But someone had described it to me in the past, and what I took away from it that it was basically Curb Your Enthusiasm, but with guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. Do you want to explain what happens in a bit more detail?
Okay, so the film starts in traffic.
Yep.
Michael Douglas is in his car, and it's very hot, and nothing is going his way.
No.
All the sort of fellow traffic commuters, yeah. They are very annoying.
Yep.
There's kids waving things out the windows. It's just a stereotypical...
mutated fly lands on his neck.
Oh, yeah, and he's trying to kill it, but he can't get it.
Yep.
He tries to get his aircon going. That didn't work. Tries to wind down his window. The handle for winding down his window doesn't work.
Eventually, he snaps and decides he wants to go home.
Yeah.
Abandons his car in the freeway.
Now, we don't know what he means by go home.
No.
So he gets out the car,
Yeah.
and someone goes, "Hey, buddy, you can't get out of the car here."
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm going home." And he just walks off into the
Well,
shrubbery.
he runs off.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. With his briefcase.
Yeah,
He's got
yeah,
his
yeah.
briefcase. Yeah.
But at this point, he seems like... I don't know. He reminded me of Hal from Malcolm in the Middle at this point. He was just like a schlub who just wants to go back to his wife. And the first thing he does is he goes to a phone booth and phones a woman with kids.
Yeah.
And then he sort of freaks out a bit and doesn't talk to them.
And hangs up, yeah.
And hands up. So you're like, okay. Because you think at first, it's his wife and kids. Then things take a bit of a turn.
I mean, the tone, I immediately realised I'd misunderstood what this film was going to be about, was that opening segment when they're in traffic.
Yeah.
I got serious rage. Like, at this moment, so I was watching it last night, and I'd sat down with my pizza.
Yep.
And my cat, while I was watching this, my cat started trying to climb behind the TV and strangle itself on the cables.
Okay.
So I was getting annoyed at the cat.
Yeah.
This TV was too loud, so I was starting to try and turn down the TV. And then, as I mentioned with my tooth, a bit of the pizza went onto the crust of the pizza went onto the wrong side of my mouth.
Yeah.
And I bit down onto the sore bit of my tooth. So
we should film you putting on Falling Down and going mad. That'd be amazing.
But I was irritated. Like, all those things don't usually irritate me, but the way that opening scene is directed, I felt so much anxiety and rage.
It uses a lot of very extreme close-ups, and although we were saying before we recorded, Office Space opens the same way.
Yes,
and it's so different in tone.
Yeah. When did Office Space come out?
99, 98, 99.
Because I wonder if they might have drawn a little bit.
I
from
imagine
it,
so. I think there is. I think they even mention Falling Down.
Possibly, yeah.
I think, although I wasn't keyed into it, I might be now. Having a falling down moment is a thing people say.
Right. Okay.
He had a falling down moment. Someone snapped. Which
It's
I've never
bit
heard
more
before.
than a falling down moment. Because what happens after he leaves, Adam?
Well, for me, it's it's more like having the case of the Mondays. Do you remember that?
I reckon if someone said to, what's his name, Bill, is it? I think it's Bill, in Falling Down about having a case of the Mondays, he would probably shoot them in the face. Or the leg, more specifically.
It'd be nice to re-edit. This is the film that has been referenced in so much material.
Yes.
It almost feels like you could cross it over. Anyway, we're going off point. The first thing he does when he's suddenly free of the car, he goes to a Korean supermarket. This is the tone of the film, because it made me suddenly go, oh, and feel a bit uncomfortable. He feels like a can of Coke costs too much.
85 cents.
As opposed to 50 cents that he wants to pay. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, it switches. He starts taking the mick out of the Korean guy's accent.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about how he's come to my country, he can't even speak my
properly,
language.
Yeah.
And then,
he wants him to say 5, doesn't he?
Yeah, he says there's an F in, or V in 5.
V in 5, yeah.
And then he starts just trashing the place, saying everything's too expensive.
Well, it's interesting, because at the beginning, when this interaction between the two first starts, you are kind of on Michael Douglas's side. Because you're agreeing, you're going, yeah, that is too much for a can of Coke. And then, almost instantly, it's as he goes to walk out the door, he turns around, and you don't like Michael Douglas anymore. He is not a nice person.
I don't know, I think my hackles were up a bit almost immediately. I was like, It's when he starts talking about the accent.
Well, yeah.
That's the thing, that's... from that moment, he starts using rhetoric that racists use, basically.
Yeah. But it's interesting, this is a bit off topic, would that have been considered, well, if we were in 1993 it came out, in 1993 if we were watching it, would we have had the same reaction?
It's an interesting argument, and I think at the time I read, there was negative.
Right, okay.
But it was very specifically from, like, the Korean...
Yeah, quite rightly, I mean...
whatever, the representative... Because it's not just that; it's the treatment of a lot of minorities in it.
Yes,
and this is where this is why I'm baffled you didn't know it was LA, because it's such an LA thing.
Well, now you've said it, I can see it.
You've got all the street gangs, you've got Mexican,
you got the bodybuilders.
Yeah, absolutely. Venice Beach, even.
Oh yeah, they go to Venice Beach. Oh,
where the climax happens.
Oh, I feel bad now.
But anyway, yeah. So, yeah. What follows on from there is he just goes from one point to another, causing... We've been too negative on it. What it's doing is it's commenting on society and the world at large. This is where the Curb Your Enthusiasm thing comes in. Because he's critiquing the fact that prices have gone up.
Yeah.
But he does so in a way that he trashes a guy's shop and beats it and it scares the hell out of him.
He then goes to a park and he's drinking his soda in the park.
Yep.
That he did pay 50 cents for. And...
Oh, yes, he did leave the money. yeah.
And then some gang guys come up to him and start picking on him.
Yes.
And he then complains about the fact he just wants to sit and drink a soda in the park. And he doesn't want to have this confrontation with the gang people.
Yeah. But he tries to back off, doesn't he? He tries to say,
yeah,
all right, I respect that I'm in your garden, I'm in your yard, I'll leave.
And they don't let him leave.
No.
They pull a switch knife on him. And... which reminds me of the next bit when he's walking away. So he basically he beats him up, essentially. He uses his briefcase.
He uses his baseball bat that he stole from the shopkeeper.
Yeah. And the guys run off, and as he's walking away, he's got the switch knife, and he goes, I wonder how one of these things actually works.
Yeah.
Well, how
is
did
it
he
a switch
do
knife
that?
or a butterfly knife?
I don't know.
It's butterfly, isn't it? Switch is when it...
I don't know. I'm not a knife expert.
So those two interactions, from there you can see where the plot's going. He keeps meeting these people. Interestingly, he keeps upgrading his weapons.
Yeah.
So he's gone from baseball bat to knife. It's
also
Grand Theft Auto-y.
Yeah, and as he gets more, because he does get more crazy as the film goes.
Oh,
on.
absolutely.
He loses it completely.
Well, you can tell that it's bookmarked by he keeps phoning his.
Yeah.
As we discover, his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Who he has. She has a.
Strict restraining order.
That's the word. Against him, and each time he phones her after each sort of chapter of what's going on.
Yeah.
And he gets more and more demented.
Yeah, but his morals get better as he goes on as well.
What?
I think they do. It's because it kind of climaxes with the Nazi in the what's the type of shop called?
Oh, he goes to like a military surplus.
Surplus, that's it. Yeah, army surplus. And he sees the Nazi, and the Nazi thinks that he's one of them. Yeah, and he makes that point of saying, "I'm not one of you," and then obviously he ends up killing. Spoilers, the Nazi guy. And it's kind of from that point on, he's nice to people all the way through, except for the Korean guy. That's the only person he's not nice to.
The Nazi thing was interesting because he immediately recognises this guy as an ally. He immediately sees Michael Douglas as an ally.
Yeah.
Because he's been listening on the police scanner.
Yeah.
Because the B story, where we meet the actual hero...
Yeah.
Is...
Robert Duvall.
Yeah, Robert Duvall playing a part of a police sergeant who's been injured previously and now is a desk jockey, essentially.
Yeah. And he's on the last day of his job as well.
On his last day of his job.
Oh, that stereotype, I love it.
It is a stereotype. In this one, it works quite nicely because they're acting against it. It's a bit genre savvy. Like, everyone, including him, are aware that he could get injured at any point. Yeah. They even mention another guy who retired, who was on the way to his car, got run down. And how, who's got the worst wife.
Well, no, she's not the worst wife.
She's mental.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that she's the worst wife. She's clearly got a lot of issues.
She does. Well, there's I mean, I'll mention that later, but there is an interesting. This is because it's 93. This wouldn't happen now. There's a very pro-male vibe going on.
Oh, there's one bit towards the end. The last interaction you have with his wife, actually.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what's in my mind. You're like, ooh.
In 1993, you go, yeah. In 2018, you go, well, that's not right.
And it reminded me of another stereotype from the 80s and 90s films, and TV actually as well, that being a man, you can't say I love you.
Yeah.
That it's a thing that men don't say. And then you're like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's weird how...
Interesting, isn't it?
How far we've come. Oh, God.
It's not even that. It's just a weird culture shift.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the story progresses quite interesting. Michael Douglas eventually catches up with his wife, his ex-wife and daughter, while Prendergast is on his tail. Sort of picks him. He works with an old partner, doesn't he, to try and catch him on his last day, and everyone else is dismissing him. It's only at the end does he really go, no, we need to do this. We need to stop this man in his white shirt and tie.
Well, this is really reaching here, but it is quite a similar kind of comparison to Blade Runner.
What?
So you've got, bear with me here. So you've got the Harrison Ford character, which is Robert Duvall, hunting down the bad guy, and you see the bad guy all the way through. You see them doing all these horrible things, but at the same time, you kind of understand why he's doing those things.
Well, okay.
And then by the end, there's no winner in that final.
Yeah, okay. I get that. However, in the language of the film, Michael Douglas is portrayed as the protagonist.
Yes.
Now, I realise that the film is a tragedy. It's a spiral of descent of evil, which he doesn't even realise to the end, when he suddenly goes, am I the bad guy?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I
really like that.
That was a cool moment. But we're still seeing him 2/3 of the time. We're only seeing Prendergast.
Yes, yeah.
Blade Runner is a weird example. You only really follow Deckard.
Well, no, you do.
You see glimpses of what they're doing, but you don't follow them. Michael Douglas, we're following.
Yeah, true. You don't know what they're doing, whereas you know what Michael Douglas is doing.
Yeah. Now, there's no mystery, because you know it's all laid out in front of you.
Yeah.
Now, this is where my real issue comes from it. Now, do you remember when we watched Rampage?
Which one was written? Hang on. Is this the one with the kid that shoots everything?
He dresses up in armour, walks down the road and kills everyone.
Yeah.
And that film made me feel sick.
Yeah.
I hated that so much. Mainly for the idea of who's being inspired by this film.
Yeah.
And it, really, really uncomfortable. There was a game called Hatred or something, or Blackness. My heart is black, or whatever it was. Same thing. You go around murdering people. You go to a high school and start shooting people. And you go, well, you could argue it's satire, but it's not, is it? It's yeah. Now this film has actually been called out as inspiring a mass murderer.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, hang on. 2015 Chapel Hill shooting.
Oh, right, okay.
It was his favourite film, and he watched it over and over again. And his wife...
I'm just reading this now. It's saying he thought it was hilarious. He had no compassion at all. That's the problem, though. You can't take a film... Because there is a very good message to Falling Down, which is that mental health is a serious problem. And...
What?
It is. It's talking about how...
I guess.
You're watching Michael Douglas descend into more and more mental health issues.
Well, it's the other thing is the portrayal of the angry white male, which is which he definitely is. He's not military, but he has a background in military.
Yeah, he went to... Was it Nam that he was in? They made comments throughout, and...
There was a trickle of veteran...
how else would he know how to shoot? How else?
Well, he doesn't really. His trigger discipline's awful.
Well, yeah. when he's in the whammy burger.
No, the bigger one. This is the other thing as well. The tonally, it's so weird because there are these gag moments when he fires the bazooka.
That was
scene?
amazing. It seems to be whenever he's got this kid.
Yeah.
And it's always the kid that brings the humour into it. So, like that with the bazooka,
So
where the
he's
kid's
trying to-
showing him how to use a bazooka.
A kid saw him.
So, what film are you shooting?
That's just a comedy scene.
Yeah.
What? It doesn't fit in.
I thought it did because it's. If there was no.
Do you know what that scene works in The Last Action Hero? That's a Last Action Hero scene.
Right. The thing you got to remember, it's 1993.
Yeah.
It's Michael Douglas.
Right.
It's Joel Schumacher.
Yeah.
I think tonally it does fit very well with those three things. There's seriousness. There's an underlying message that gets even more serious as the years go on, because obviously we use that term we used last time, woke. We're seeing these things a lot more. But because it's 1993, because it's Joel Schumacher, who was the master of these kinds of action 90s films, and because it's Michael Douglas, and people have to still like Michael Douglas because he's one of those people, especially at the time, just coming off the back of Jewel of the Nile and whatnot.
Right.
I think tonally it does fit for 1993.
The only thing I kept thinking was, now I understand what Frank Grimes' character came from The Simpsons.
And do you deserve any of it? No!
What are you saying?
I'm saying you're what's wrong with America, Simpson. You coast through life, you do as little as possible, and you leech off decent, hard-working people, like me. If you lived in any other country in the world, you'd have starved to death long ago.
Yes.
That's the only thing I kept thinking. Also, the food...
Frank Grimes is one traffic jam away from murdering everyone in The Simpsons.
We tried, didn't he? Grimesy.
See?
He gets so sick of everyone calling him Grimesy, he kills himself.
He kills himself, but he doesn't try and kill everyone else.
Yeah. I don't know what to feel about this film. You asked me, you said earlier you enjoyed it. I can't say I enjoyed it. I respect it, and now I understand where the references all come from.
Yeah.
But I didn't enjoy it. It made me feel uncomfortable.
I didn't enjoy watching it, but I really liked it.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, that's all I would say. Oh, hello. Buenas noches, This is salt in it, pretty salt in it. Sí. Buenas noches.
So that was Instruments of Destruction by NRG, which leads us on to our next topic, which is, Adam, what?
Transformers the movie, 1986. Woo!
Yeah. Okay, right.
This is the best film ever.
I don't know.
This is probably one of my childhood favourites, though.
Cool.
Transformers the movie, yeah. I think I watched it when I was 6 or 7 the first time.
It's a good age.
I've tried to watch it ever since. A little bit of background. Transformers was the one for me.
Yep.
I've got an older brother and an older sister, Gavin and Melissa.
Shout
outs, yes. And I basically inherited all of their toys and things. Most of my brothers, obviously, which was Transformers, Star Wars, Lego, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But Transformers was one I latched onto. And with the toys, I had, I want to say, 3 tapes. I had the sort of pilot, 3-parter pilot to the original 80s, 1984 series, More Than Meets the Eye, which is kind of like a complete story, beginning, middle, and end. I watched it to death. It was the
chunk of Transformers.
Absolutely. It was the introduction to all these characters. It showed off all the characters. Really nicely animated as well. Voice acting's great. Before it got all cheap and tacky with the full series later on.
Yeah.
When it's just being rolled out. So I had that tape and I watched it to death, got to know all the characters, had a great time. Then I had the movie,
Yes.
This movie
This movie
that's primary role is to ruin my childhood dreams, kick me in the ribs and say, no,
So what does
don't
this movie
love anything.
What does this movie do to your childhood favourites then, Adam?
It brutally murders them.
It does. A lot.
This film is the opening chapter to a long line of animated tie-in things from the 80s. And this is an interesting chapter where, at this point, no one thought anyone cared about these toy characters.
Oh, how wrong they were.
So when they decided that it was time to roll out a new line of toys and to get rid of the old toys, who wants them? Let's kill them all. Let's burn them alive. Let's melt them in a big vat of acid.
Yep.
Just to replace them with some absolutely rubbish characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. So that's why this film sticks with me in quite a heavy way.
That's like your side of the Transformers thing.
Yes.
I'll let you know mine. I, myself, do not care for Transformers. And I never really got it. I don't like the new films. I don't really like Transformers. But you said to me, go and watch this animated film from 1986.
Yep.
Tell me what you think. And we're gonna talk about it on the radio show. So I watched it, and about that.
You've developed opinions, haven't you?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Well, they're not too major, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people who feel the same way I do about it.
Nope. Just you.
Just me.
You. I'm afraid.
It can't just be me. It can't just be me.
Right. Well, let's give a quick overview of what happens.
Yep.
Do you want to start? I could probably do it from memory.
I reckon if you do it from memory.
Okay.
And then I can tell you what I dislike about it.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, space.
Yes. Tell me more.
A giant big planet drifts.
That's planet sounds, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
It just and we're on another planet, and some scientists go, "Oh, it's Janix! It's coming!"
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh!" and they start evacuating. This scene terrified me as a kid.
It kind of makes sense. I can see that.
I want to say. So these guys start evacuating this planet as these winds start being drawn up, and basically, one planet is eating the other one.
It is.
Nom nom nom.
The big orange thing.
It starts absorbing and crunching the planet. These guys try to escape, but one of them does. One of them gets sucked in.
Yep.
And in the end, the planet is no more. It's just gone.
Yeah, there's a burp from the other planet.
There's just
digests.
There's just one vast mechanoid planet.
Yep.
Drifts on into the cosmos. Ooh. Then we get the intro theme. Okay, so the year is 2005. Decepticons they're the baddies. They've taken over Cybertron, their home planet.
Yep.
The Autobots, the goodies, are preparing to stage an invasion to take it back on multiple moons, and also the Autobot city back on Earth as well.
Right.
That's the setup. Decepticons are basically, they've won, kind of, which is funny because they always lost in the show.
I can kind of get it, because that's the thing that when I watched it, the first thing I thought was, why are they winning?
They've already won. It's bizarre because
it's like so quick.
There's like a 20-year time jump from the series to the film, and in that time, apparently, Decepticons got good.
They had a training montage.
Well, yeah, it must have.
I reckon that's what it was.
So on one of the moons, we've got Optimus Prime, leader of the Autobots, voiced by. Excuse me.
Yeah, you heard.
Voiced by Peter Cullen, who is still doing the voice today.
Classic.
And basically, they need more energon. They need more of their fuel source. So Ironhide zooms off to go to Autobot City on Earth to get more energon.
Yes.
But their plans are foiled for Laserbeak, one of the Decepticons is watching in the window, and he takes it back to Megatron.
Do you know what? This for me, this is wonderful because you are so in your element right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Just saying how the story is. It's great to watch. I'm so sorry you guys don't get to watch this because it's so good.
Megatron, Laserbeak.
That's it.
Laserbeak flies in, and he relays the plans, repeating the line from Optimus. All we need is a little energon and a lot of luck. More luck than you... What's the line? More luck than you think, or something.
So, yeah.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck. More than you imagine, Optimus Prime.
So Autobot, the shuttle takes off, but they get ambushed by the Decepticons, where Huffer, Ratchet and Ironhide and Prowl get brutally murdered.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they do. That's...
2 instruments of destruction. This scene blew my mind as a kid.
I can get it. I mean, if you're invested in these characters...
All established characters just get mowed down.
And then they just... for me, I can imagine that's the equivalent, say, from, now, to going in to, say, Infinity War... and them just killing the Avengers. Yeah. And just being like, there's going to be new Avengers, but the ones you knew are now dead.
Well, yeah.
It's essentially what they did, and it really is...
in the opening scene.
Which is crazy, absolutely crazy.
The one that sticks with me most is Prowl, who's the one who turns into a police car.
Yep.
Burns up on the inside.
There's all the smoke coming out the mouth.
He gets shot in the chest, and then he opens his mouth as all this smoke pours out of his eyes. And oh my God. So they get wiped out. The Decepticons use the shuttle to get through the early warning systems and basically attack Autobot City and with a plan to wipe them all out.
Yeah.
Cut to Earth. Hot Rod. Mm-hmm. Everyone's favourite teenage Transformer.
Hot Rod sucks.
He does. He really does.
Hot Rod's really bad, dude.
He's fishing with Daniel.
Yes. Yes.
And they see that the shuttle's coming, so they go to meet the shuttle. But oh no, there's a hole in the shuttle. Hot Rod sees it and basically launches sets off the attack.
Yeah.
All the Decepticons pour out, start killing everyone.
It does go a bit crazy then.
Yeah.
It really does.
There
was a couple of moments that, admittedly, not a huge fan of the film. But there were a couple of moments where I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I think that was probably one of them where I was like, oh, it's going to go down.
Well, what's awesome is, at this point, worth mentioning, Vince DiCola did the soundtrack, who's famously did the Rocky soundtrack.
Yes.
So it's all 80s synth, and it's awesome.
He's my favourite part.
Yeah.
Admittedly, he is my favourite part.
The attack, the Autobot bass, the actual battle music is so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Really cool.
In fact, I think I want to blame this for my love of synthwave now, because now it's quite popular. But I always liked it, and I think it's because I liked this film.
I can kind of get that because there's a lot of stuff that you'll suggest, like, hey, give this a listen, and having watched this has made me realise that maybe watching stuff like this as a youth has given you a different flavour within your music meal. Shall we say?
Yeah, I can see that.
Do you know what I mean? It's.
I just love it.
I get it.
So during the battle, we're introduced to the new characters. We're introduced to, obviously, Hot Rod, Cup, the old timer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the really grouchy dude.
Yeah.
Well, I say grouchy. He's just
It's just like a normal guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyday normal guy.
RC, the first. Well, it's not the first female one, but quite an obvious attempt at having a Princess Leia character, the pink one.
Is that the whitey pinky robot one?
With the Leia hair. Yeah. Springer, who's the green dude, turns into a helicopter and a car. Oh!
Yeah, because he just can't be happy with one. He has to have both.
And Ultra Magnus, who is the city commander, who's awesome.
Yes.
But I haven't got time for that right now. That's a joke. Transformers joke, everyone. Everyone, Transformers joke. Anyway, during the fight, everyone dies. It's really brutal. And then Optimus arrives.
He does.
To save the... Oh, no, hang on, we've skipped a bit.
Oh, right, sorry, mate.
They do an SOS signal to get Optimus in one of the coolest little sequences when blast the coming at you.
Oh,
the boombox Autobot broadcasts as the stress tool.
He is awesome. He is awesome. Right, do you know what? The more that we chat about it, the more I'm realising there's parts of this that I did actually enjoy.
So he, after a fight with some tape deck little mini robots, which is awesome, Optimus arrives and he decides, in a line that's been ripped off in every Transformers thing ever since, Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
They do use that.
You got the touch.
No, please don't. Got
the power.
No, please. For the love of God, please don't do this.
Optimus and Megatron fight to the death, and it's pretty savage and brutal and awesome. Awesome.
Hold on, is this the cool turn from the truck, flippy through the air?
Oh yeah,
take the shots. Is that this bit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's epic. All right. Apart from the music,
You
everything.
got the power.
No, please stop. The music's really bad. Everything else about it is really good.
Optimus kicks ass basically.
He really does. Yeah.
And when he does catch up with Megatron, it's pretty savage. But yeah, at the end of it, Optimus Prime, he's dead.
He is.
I mean, it's awful and brutal, and it made me horrifically scarred as a kid. It's awful how he dies. But Megatron's gravely wounded as well. The Decepticons all flee. Optimus gets taken back to the medical wing, I guess.
Yes.
And it's all kicks off from there, basically.
There we go.
Yeah, so when the Decepticons are fleeing, they let all the wounded ones out the back because they need more space. They're too heavy on the ship. What? It's never happened before. And Megatron floats off with the other wounded Transformers and bumbles into Unicron.
Megatron. Welcome, Megatron. Who said that? I am Unicron.
Ah, yes, Unicron.
Giant planet-eating planet.
Yes, that's what you call him.
Yeah.
It's not what I call him. Not going to call him what I call him.
No, you can see what you've written.
Yeah,
there.
you can see it, but I'm not gonna say it on the show.
All the wounded Decepticons get reformatted into new characters, including Galvatron, voiced by Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, pretty cool. I've only just found this out just prior to recording this, that there are some really awesome big name voice actors in this.
Absolutely. Well, the biggest one is the voice of Unicron himself, Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
Because that's what he is.
This was his last ever film role. So the man who brought us Citizen Kane, his last ever role was a big god. Big robot-eating god man.
Which is what he was his entire life, really.
Yeah. He hated
when you
this.
think about it.
He hated this.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
I think he was quoted as saying something like, I'm a big robot toy doing horrible things to other robot toys.
Yes.
Yeah,
which
fair enough.
Doesn't sound like a description of a film that's suitable for children.
No, not really. So that becomes the crux of the whole story, really. He's reformatted Megatron and the others in order to hunt down the Matrix that Optimus Prime had that he's passed on to Ultra Magnus. Mm-hmm. And the rest of the film is basically a chase across planets, and they meet weird and wonderful characters before eventually teaming up at the end.
Cool. To
take down Unicron. And that's Transformers.
That is the film.
Right. What's not to love?
What's not to love? Right, so I got 15 minutes in.
Right.
I had no idea what was happening. So, as someone who's never watched anything to do with Transformers before, I didn't see any of the build-up. I just did not know what was going on. It sort of blew my mind that they killed Optimus Prime.
Yes.
But not in a good way.
You and everyone else, yeah.
More in the sense of why would you do this? But the thing is it was really confusing for me because it's been so many years since it came out that he's back and he's fine and everything's good and there's been like several films with him in. So I was like,
Oh, they're all unrelated.
This is not canon. This is clearly none of the stuff that I've seen is canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hot Rod sucks.
Hot Rod does suck.
I hate Hot Rod.
And at the end he transforms into Rodimus Prime.
Yeah.
The replacement for Optimus.
Bad. Really bad.
Yeah, well this is the
really
thing.
Awful.
Even at the time, everyone rejected that. Like, but what about Optimus?
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. That's what I meant about this being kind of a landmark in that.
Rodimus Prime is
adaptation
the
thing.
actual name, right?
Rodimus Prime, yeah.
That's what they decided on.
Arise, Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, so a bunch of people sat in a room and they went, we've killed Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
We need somebody to take over. Somebody said Rodimus Prime and everybody went, yeah, great. This is exactly the name that we're looking for.
Well, this is the thing. It's really... A lot of people said that they didn't know that people cared. They thought they were just toys. So were quite surprised when Optimus Prime caused people to cry and complain. Like, parents were taking their kids to watch this film who were, like, PTSD, I'm talking, level, traumatised.
Yeah.
So much so that when they released it in the UK, they put a thing at the end saying, Optimus Prime will return.
They had to specify that this guy's not dead.
The other one as well is that G.I. Joe, which didn't really come over here very much, but was equally massive in America, was made by the same company as Transformers.
Right.
Had a similar plan to kill off one of the characters, and they scrapped it.
Yeah, they were like, no,
no, because this almost killed the franchise.
I can imagine. Yeah.
When I say I had like 4 tapes, so I had the first one, the movie, and then I had Dark Awakening. Dark Awakening was the return of Optimus Prime.
Oh, yeah. You were
as
saying about this.
Horrific zombie man who tried to kill everyone. You're like, what are you doing? Oh, my God.
I remember you saying that, so there's a scene in this, the Zombimus Prime, we're going to call it from now on, where another Transformer, like, pulls Optimus Prime's arms off.
Yeah, so Hot Rod...
Yes.
returns in that episode because he gives the Matrix back and stops being Rodimus Prime.
Right, good.
And then when they realise what a terrible idea that was, Hot Rod goes back to get it off him.
It goes savage. And
we're talking limbs removed, we're talking eyes being blown out. It's unbelievable. Yeah, and that's the thing. That almost feels like a direct sequel to the film as well because it's really nicely animated.
Do you think it was supposed to be?
Possibly.
Maybe that was like the plan of like...
I think they ramped up the animation a bit because they wanted it to be almost back to back. Because that's the thing with the film. It looks beautiful as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I can kind of see why. I can imagine at the time when this came out, this was huge.
Yeah.
And I think watching it now probably added a layer of detriment to it that was unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? I've put it down more than I should have put it down. But that's because I'm watching a film, an animated film from 86 in 2019, having seen some of the most fantastic things to come through cinema in the build. Do you know what I mean? So like,
yes.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not dissing it because I can totally understand why it's such an awesome film for a lot of people.
Me like me.
Yeah, and the thing is I sort of sat there, and as much as I kind of went into it with the idea of I'm going to pull this film apart,
right? Because
there were a lot of people who really rate it,
okay,
and not knowing anything about Transformers, not having any sort of backstory on it.
I
just went, I'm going to go into this with a very cynical mind and see what comes out. But at the end of the day, the film finished. I had a smile on my face.
Time had passed,
and I was like, do you know what? It wasn't that bad. I really did. I enjoyed myself.
Good.
So thank you for the recommendation.
You're welcome. I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah, good.
As soon as we finish here, I'm going to watch it again.
Good.
And
I
again.
am not.
And again, and again, and again. And again. I love it. It's great.
Good.
Hoist the curtain. Dim the lights. Roll out the red carpet. And welcome your hosts, Adam
Matt
Screen Bucket.
Now, Nick.
Yes.
We met at university, as mentioned.
We did.
At Bath Spa University.
Yes.
Where we studied creative writing.
Yes.
Now, as a graduate of creative writing,
yes,
would you say you've used that talent?
No.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, we got From the Sofa.
That's true.
Yeah.
That took a few years, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's, 10 years since we left uni? No, not quite.
No, not quite.
No. It's getting there, though, Adam. We're getting old.
It's been a few years. It's fine. But listeners to the show hopefully would realise that me and Rob are trying to become filmmakers.
Yeah, you are filmmakers.
We are
to be
filmmakers.
fair. You got Cirque to Sacrifice.
It's just true.
You've
Over
got
100 views.
You've got Go Shark.
Yes, over 100 views.
Yeah.
Still my highest hitter though, 1,000 views.
Which is
Tickle Nightmare.
Oh yes, that is possibly my favourite video you've ever made.
Yes,
I would
something
say.
I knocked up in 20 minutes.
Yes, and it was something that came up from a conversation we were having, wasn't it? About how creepy Mr. Tickle was.
No, it exclusively came from a conversation with my nephew.
Oh yes, no, I remember you telling me. Yes,
They have the full collection of Mr. Men books, and
Yeah.
I went, "Oh, Mr. Tickle, it's my favourite." Uncle Adam, the youngest nephew, pulls open the book, points at the last page, and says, "Is that not really scary?" Yeah,
and you've had nightmares every night since.
Well, they have, because my brother decided to show them.
Oh no.
In their bedroom as well.
Oh no.
But anyway, so we try and do a radio play every week. It doesn't always work.
No.
Last time was rubbish.
No, right. No, I want to settle this because at the end of the last week's episode, I was listening, and you and Rob made a comment about how it was your worst episode so
terrible.
far. It was not, okay? I really enjoyed that. I particularly enjoyed the guest appearance from the matey from On the Buses. I thought it was very good. Yeah, no, I think...
Can you hear that, listeners?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So stop it now.
Whatever. Anyway, we're going to try again.
Okay.
And this is going to be interesting because I don't think you've done anything like this before. Have you?
No, I don't think I have. Well, we've come up with weird scenarios in the past.
We have, and we used to write together.
Yeah.
Okay, so, Nick.
Yes?
I have misplaced my list of words.
Why?
Don't know. But we're going to try and set up another improv.
Okay.
For me and you. Now, I'm going to do it from summer 2018 edition of Empire.
Which we happen to have lying around.
Which with an exclusive subscriber cover by Rob Liefeld of Deadpool and Cable.
Yes.
That will have no bearing on the actual thing. Now, how are we going to do genre? Should we just choose a genre? Is there a list of... Hang on.
Thriller.
Thrillers are tricky. Hey, right, I'm going to go... Right, okay. Tell me when.
When?
What's the genre of The Meg?
Comedy.
Let's call it creature. Monster.
Yeah, monster. Yeah.
Right. Monster. Cool, okay, that's the genre. And then I want us to choose a setting. This is going to be very hard.
New York.
I'm just gonna flick through the book. Tell me when.
When?
Okay, so that's... I've opened it to Ocean's 8 interview. Let's say it's at a fashion show.
Okay. Milan.
Yeah, why not? Characters. Okay, so I'm going to flick again. Tell me
when. Oh.
Okay. An interview with Billy D. Williams.
A smuggler.
All right. Yeah. A scoundrel and a cad. And again.
When? Who's that?
It's Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible. So...
A spy.
A spy. Yes. A spy.
And a smuggler.
Ooh, in a fashion
show.
show.
This could get interesting.
Lovely.
Set of Zoolander.
Well, it's...
He is a spy and a smuggler.
All right. Lovely. Okay. Let's go.
You have one message. Message 1.
Hello, it's Michael Keaton here. I'm just calling Screen Bucket, and I've got this idea for this new Netflix TV series. I don't know if you saw me in the Dumbo trailer recently, and I wanted to do this documentary off the back of that about how sorry I am for the
RoboCop remake, and I'm gonna make it up to you with Beetlejuice 2, and I'm thinking Batman. What do you think? Call me.
Hot diggity dog, it's Scream Bucket with Adam and Rob. Welcome to the fashion show at Milan.
The Milan fashion show.
Yes.
So, sir, as you can see,
Yes.
my fine wares, I have this fine diamond egg here.
Oh, that's remarkable, isn't it?
Yes, and I'm selling these eggs at a cut price. You see, I bought these for $1 million from the Countess of Bulgaria.
Oh, Bulgaria.
Yes.
That's a frightfully nice place.
Yes,
isn't
down
it?
in Devon somewhere. And,
Yes,
you
yes.
see, they're absolutely fantastic, pure, pristine crystal diamond.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, and I can
yes.
sell them to you for a fine cut price of $500,000. What
Well,
do you say, sir?
They are absolutely beautiful,
And
yes.
they can be yours. Imagine them on your mantelpiece.
Yes, all right, stop talking. I will buy them, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
excellent.
Let me
How
just-
would you like to pay? Debit, credit card, American Express?
That's a very good question. I think, credit card, please, if that's okay.
Okay, sir. Let me just go get my card machine.
What are you doing here?
I'm a lowly little shopkeeper, just running this stall here at the Milan Fashion Show.
I see. What are you selling, Mr. American?
Just some fine, rare pieces of, jewelry and things like. It's a fashion show, so I'm quite obviously selling jewelry. Yes.
That would make sense.
Yes.
So, this is a rather interesting shaped item.
This gentleman here is just, buying.
Where do you get a diamond egg like this?
This one? What, this?
Yes, this one.
This egg?
This specific egg, yes.
It's not that egg.
No, this specific egg.
This egg. This one I just, it's a friend of mine. He sold it to me, and, that was,
And where does it come from exactly?
I'm gonna run.
Wait, oh!
Out of my way!
Damn your eyes, he's got away. Still, I've got this egg now. What could it be? What could it mean? It looks almost like Professor... Professor Sinistro. Professor Sinistro might be behind this, but I'm not sure how many eggs are left. I need to track him down.
I think I got away. I think my egg. I left my egg behind out.
Mr. Texan.
Yes?
You are the smuggler I ordered, yes?
Yes.
I am Professor Sinistro. Welcome
hello?
to my lair.
Your lair? I didn't realize I ran into your lair. I thought I was still just down the street.
Yes, you took the left when you should have taken the right.
Oh, was that at the mango stall, right? I don't know why there's mangoes at a fashion show, but...
Mango is a high street retailer.
Oh,
Do you know nothing, you Texan buffoon?
Well, quite clearly not. I'm currently wearing
Have you placed the egg in the correct spot?
Which spot would that be?
You were supposed to sell it to...
To that English gentleman?
Yes, Mr. Lake District.
Well, the thing is, he was I had him right there, and he just then this gentleman came, and I think he's this a very posh English man. He seemed to know about the eggs, and
Not Corporal
Winchester.
James Winchester.
Yes, I don't know why I said yes. He didn't say his name, but I'm sure he looked like a James Winchester.
Ruggedly handsome.
Yes.
Like Hollywood good looks.
Yes.
And moustache.
Yes.
Winchester.
Well, anyway, he got the egg, and I just kind of ran out of there. I wasn't getting stuck in that.
This isn't good at all. You, Texan, you must have guns.
Maybe.
I want you to take down Winchester.
How?
With your guns.
These guns?
Yeah.
These guns, right?
You must reclaim the egg. At 6 o'clock, it must be placed on top of the catwalk.
I can try, I guess. Well, let's talk about money.
I'll validate parking.
Okay, you got me. Excellent.
Now, where does this egg belong? I need to find where it came from. You there, boy.
Yes?
Where... Did you see a man in a white suit?
Yes.
And cowboy hat?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Can you say any other word?
Yes.
Can you point me where he went, then?
He was supposed to go left down there, but he went right into Dr. Sinestro's lair.
Dr. Sinestro?
He was a professor last time I saw. My nemesis. He's here.
I'm gonna leave now. Goodbye.
Hey, mind your step, little boy. He fell down a crack. It's very small.
Right. Right. Where, let's go, where could, this, James Winchester chap be?
Sinestro, I know you're here.
Oh, if I hide in this cupboard, I might be able to jump out on him.
This smells like Professor Sinestro. Is that the boiler? I'm not getting a good feeling here. I must find out what this egg is and what it does.
Winchester! I found you. Yeah, stop there and give me that egg.
Now, calm down, Texan. I realize that you have gun control amendments and all sorts of things, but...
I'm pointing my gun at you, and that means that you've got to give me that egg.
What is this egg?
It's an egg.
But what's in it?
It's just an egg.
It's a diamond egg, but we do not know what's in it.
Well, it's diamond. It's pretty see-through. You can see that there's nothing in it, and it's just an egg, I swear. There's nothing weird about it. It just means a lot to me.
Are you working for Sinestro?
No. That egg, it was my mother's egg, and it means a lot to me, so if you could just hand it back, that would be,
Okay. That sounds acceptable.
Just hand it over.
Oh, just come closer.
Yes, just hand it over. Aha! I got the egg now.
Good.
I'll run away again.
Little did he know that QI gave me a tracking device.
Right. Dr. Sinestro, where are you? Why did you creep up on me like that?
I am Sinestro. It is my want to disappoint.
Okay.
I'm still working on the motto.
So, I found that egg of yours, and, well, here it is.
Oh, don't give it to me.
Oh,
It needs to be on the catwalk by 6 o'clock.
Oh, the catwalk? What, like...
Yes, the catwalk.
That one?
The catwalk, yes.
Catwalk A or catwalk...
On the catwalk.
Catwalk A or catwalk B?
Let me ask Right Said Fred. Which catwalk is it? Okay. Catwalk A.
Okay, I'll go pop it on then. Do you want it on the end of the catwalk or the top of the catwalk?
At the very front.
Very front, okay. I'll go do that now then.
Okay, the egg's on the move. I just need to follow. Okay. Wait, there's a Texan there. Don't move, Texan. What are you doing with that egg? What does Sinestro want?
No, it's just my mother, her last dying wish was for me to place this egg on the canvas.
Why is the egg flashing red?
It's just the lights. It's not the egg itself, it's just the lights.
Look, it's 5:59. Something's about to happen.
I've got to get out of here.
No, you're not going anywhere until you tell me what exactly this egg is going to do.
We really should just leave, at least get a good distance away from the people are coming in now, so there's a nice big crowd of people. I'll just slip into the crowd.
Sinestro, do not be afraid, for at 6 o'clock a new wave shall come. All gather in front of the catwalk, for your souls will be harvested.
Look now, everybody. Stay down. This egg is going to blow or something.
What? It's going to blow? I can't be here.
Leave. Evacuate.
Run away!
You can't leave at this point. It's just 2 seconds and the world will change.
Look here, Sinestro. You can't do this. I don't know what you're planning, but...
Oh my god, what's that?
The egg is hatched.
Oh my god, it's a giant monster with, like, wings and talons and a beak. Hair.
What else does it look like? I'm blind.
Oh, it's kind of a bit green. And there's like fire coming from his eyes. He's got spikes on his tail. He's got a tail.
There's only one thing for it. I need to take my growth pills that I've been kept for since the beginning of the film. Shut up, Texan! I'm taking them now.
What's that? What's happening to the sky? Oh my god, he's got...
What's happening? The giant Englishman is fighting the demon. Look here, you scoundrel!
I'm the monster, and sorry, I had a bit of something in my throat there, and I really don't think that we should be fighting each other. I'm English myself as well, don't you know?
Are you?
Yes.
What store did you go to?
Eton.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. Did you ever meet John?
Yeah, John McDougal.
John McDougal, yes. He was the groundskeeper.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, what a wonderful catching up. Yes. How was that?
I feel like we lost our direction quite early on.
No, I think that was fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You enjoy it?
Yeah.
I enjoyed being a Texan.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like Sinestro. But yes, well done, Nicholas. That was a good improv.
Thank you.
C minus.
C minus?
Yes. Well, got room for improvement.
I'm just a sweet screen bucket.
And that was Putting Out Fire by Cat People. And that was Cat People by Putting Out Fire. And that was Putting Out Cats by Fire People.
David Bowie.
You said Putting Out Fire by Cat People.
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought you knew the song.
I do.
Oh.
You said Cat People Putting Out Fire.
Yeah, by David Bowie.
Is the song called Cat People Putting Out Fire?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Cat People.
Then brackets, Putting Out Fire.
Fire Cats Putting Out People.
Yeah, that's close enough.
By David Bowie. Smashed it.
I'm just giving me a very dirty look.
No. I mean, it was my fault. I can't really shift any blame.
So what do you think of those compilation specials?
Yeah, very good. Nick's Texan voice is very sexy.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Modelled on the Cockroach Man from Men in Black.
Yeah.
Sugar. More.
Yes, indeed. So yes, they were a good fun bunch of people we got in.
Yeah.
The only guest episode we skipped over was the Avengers special.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a beast in itself that should be listened to within its Marvel pod.
Yeah, within its inner crust. It's a crust.
Yeah, it's crusty.
Yeah,
You're saying it's crusty.
It's a crusty one. Made exclusively by employees of the same office.
Yeah.
But one's gone.
Getting our colleagues in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So, we're shooting again.
We are.
We're shooting. Our terrible, terrible event has turned into a very good event, in my eyes.
I'm not sure we talked about the event.
Would you want to do it?
I mean, in a bullet point, we lost the day's footage.
Yeah.
Which meant we kind of had to pull in 3/4 of our cast once again, which has not been the easiest thing to do.
No. when
yeah.
one of the things we've talked about it before, but if you're shooting a film, don't shoot it in a long thread of, month after month. You get a fit day in. Do it all in 2 weeks. If you're doing a short film, don't far film, do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because we thought we had it, we didn't have it, and when we had to rearrange it, and then everyone was busy. These are actors. They have other things to act in.
And we're not exactly paying them the highest wage in the world. So it just becomes, you sort of have to compete with bigger and better opportunities, really, I suppose.
Yes, and we won't say anything because I don't know if we're allowed to, but some of our actors are doing some very cool things.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool things.
Yeah, they're really flying the nest of, I don't know, whatever the nest was.
The acting school nest.
The acting school nest.
Yes, indeed. So, we finally got some of our actors back for the shoot. We've had to, due to actual personal issues, one of the actors can only be used minimally, especially in the cold weather that's starting to happen now. So we've had to mix things up a bit.
Yeah.
We've had to shorten that person's scenes, change them up a bit, and then replace them with someone else in a big costume. I'm not going to go into any more details, but it's ridiculous, and it's kind of re-inspired my energy for the whole project.
Yeah, we had an ending that was like fine, and it ended it nicely, and that was it. The mistake happened, we lost the footage, and now we've come out with an ending that is like absolutely perfect for the short film.
And kind of our own style as well.
Our own style, tonally perfect. Yeah, I don't want to divulge anymore either. Yeah.
But it's really exciting. So we would have shot this last weekend for those listening. We're about to shoot it in this world.
Yes.
The time-dilated world. And, hoping to get some actual updates out there very, very soon. But if you are interested in following what we're up to, do follow us on Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/HollowDellMedia. And you can follow us for updates, behind-the-scenes pictures, even the exclusive Patreon Stream Bucket podcast. So, all the reasons to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely do. I mean, for the price of a cup of coffee... A floppy clop and plum. As a flopping clopper, as a price man of the coffee... Oh, Jesus! For the price of a cup of coffee, you can...
Start that bit, Holt. Just take a breath.
For the price of a cup of coffee, you can support us in making all of the wonderful films that we want to make, and we would really appreciate it and love you forever, and it would be amazing.
Yeah. But anyway... we'll leave you for now. Do check us out at... Shall I ask you to do it?
On Twitter, at @screen_bucket.
Woohoo!
Boosh! Whoop woo! I did it! Got it right!
And where can we find North Herts Radio?
At North Herts Radio.
Correct! Woohoo!
Yeah!
Yes, do check us out on Twitter for updates and sort of vague thoughts and fancies. Other than that, come back in a fortnight.
Yeah, please do, where we will be back for a brand new Scream Bucket.
Oh my gosh. See you later.